My friends. If we're challenged too much, we will give up. Freaking nasty. Try to drink cranberry juice without making a face. And if you're not able to eliminate distractions, cheers. My friends. We're back with another video. This is gonna be a really fun one. This is something that I wish someone would have given me tips on when I was younger so I could get my together. So I'm gonna share them with you. If you're new here, my name is Jay and I'm all about self-development and improving in your lifestyle every single day. I got I think it's cranberry juice mixed with something else, but today we're going to be talking about procrastination. If you want to start a business, if you want to become successful, you cannot procrastinate. Because if you procrastinate, that means that you're not getting your shit done. So we're going to talk about procrastination, and I'm going to give you a couple of tips that I've incorporated into my life that has helped me overcome procrastination, and hopefully it can help you too. It's getting hot in here. So our kitty is always licking himself. Like, you guys don't see him in the behind the scenes, but he's literally... freaking nasty. Okay, let's start off with tip number 1. We are going to be breaking everything down. And I mean to the T. What we tend to do as human beings is we tend to hop from here to here way too fast. And you can't do that. And what that will make you do is procrastinate, because as humans, we have to be able to be challenged enough, but we also have to be able to get things done. If we're challenged too much, we will give up. If we're not challenged enough, we'll let it go. We're going to take our complete goal. After you figure out what the goal it is that you're trying to achieve, we're going to take the whole entire picture and start breaking them down into little sections. And then we're going to break those sections down into more sections, and those sections are going to be split into more sections. And we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty, what we can do every second of the day in order to get closer to that goal. Because it's not about how do we get from here to here, it's about how do we get from here to here, and then from here to here, and then from here to here. Because it doesn't matter what your bigger goal is. What matters is the next step that you take in order to get to that bigger goal. Because if you don't take that next step, you won't be able to get to the bigger goal. Okay, let's take the goal of, I want to gain 100,000 followers on Instagram by March of 2024. Okay, that's your goal. Great, awesome goal. How are you gonna get there? We're gonna have to break that down. What does it look like as a social media influencer? How are you going to grow your account to there? First off, do you know what you're going to be talking about on social media? Okay, good, you got that. Second off, do you know how many times that you need to post on social media? Okay, good, you got that. Now that you have the pretty basics down, we're gonna now have to break down all the little things in between those sections in order for us to put what we need to be doing every single day. So as a social media influencer, if I want to grow to 100K and I have a fitness channel, and I want to post at least 3 times a week, then I'm going to sit down and dedicate one day to planning my content, and another day to filming my content, and another day to editing my content. And then I'm going to make sure I post my videos or content on certain days. That can also be broken down into even smaller groups. The day that I am planning my content, I'm going to break it up into even smaller sections. From this time to this time, I'm going to plan this. We're gonna have to break it down to even smaller and smaller actions in order for you to actually understand exactly what you're supposed to be doing so you can get closer to that goal. So that's tip number 1. Break it down as small as you can go. Tip number 2, that's 4. Tip number 2, we're gonna have to set ourselves some deadlines, because if we give ourselves an infinite amount of time to get something done, for some reason, our brains will not want to get it done because there is no urgency there. There is nothing propelling you or pushing you to want to get that thing done. You're honestly acting on pure discipline. Nowadays, we know that a lot of people lack discipline. So in order to beat discipline, you need to create order. And in order to create order, you need to give yourself a deadline so you can break it down into different sections to create your order. You see where we're getting at here? You see how we're kind of tying everything in? Yes, we need to set ourselves realistic deadlines for these goals. If I wanted to grow 100K followers on Instagram and I'm just starting in January with 0 followers, realistically, I would give myself a whole year in order to grow to 100K followers. You can 100% hit 100K followers before the year is up. It could be much sooner. But as long as I give myself that deadline, as long as I'm looking towards something, then I'm able to break my steps down into little things that I have to do every single day, every single week, every single month in order to hit that goal of 100K followers by the end of the year. It doesn't even have to be like a full career goal. It can be as small as I need to get the dishes done, or you need to get your homework done, or you want to read a certain book by a specific time. You can apply these things to anything. If you have to get the dishes done before 5 p.m. If you need to clean your room before you leave to work. And if you don't get it done and you feel bad about yourself and you do that enough times, eventually you're going to reach a low point where you're going to want to change. But as long as we're setting ourselves deadlines and we're making sure our goal is very clear and we're breaking it down into other little things that we can do in order to get closer to that goal, then we're setting ourselves up for success. Try to drink cranberry juice without making a face. I don't want to do it. And we're going to move on to the last tip, tip number 3. We need to eliminate all distractions, and I mean all distractions. So that person that you like spending time with all the time, the person that, kind of distracts you from what your real life is, that person that you kind of have in your life that you go to even when you feel bad because you're trying to fill a hole in your life with that person instead of figuring out yourself. Yeah, they gotta go. If you are dedicated to your goals and you want to succeed, then you're going to have to let go of the things that are holding you back. Because many of us fill ourselves with outside things in order to make ourselves feel better, but that's just not gonna fly, because when those things end up leaving, because they will eventually end up leaving, you will feel lost, you will feel broken, and you will feel like you don't know who you are anymore. And we're trying to avoid that. So instead of trying to fill it with outside things, let's actually try to fill it with ourselves, because we are only going to feel whole and complete once we give ourselves all the things that we're trying to seek from other people. This is going to be different for everyone. Personally, I don't work well in chaotic environments. In order for me to be able to be focused and work at my full capacity, I'm gonna need to work in a place where there's not too much going on. And honestly, sometimes that means not working at home, because there is a lot of commotion that goes on at home. We have to eliminate distractions within our environment. We also have to eliminate distractions within objects and people. If you're addicted to your phone, you're gonna have to leave your phone outside of the room when you're trying to get something done. You're gonna have to make sacrifices, and you're gonna have to eliminate distractions. And it's just for the time being anyways, because until you're 100% successful in what you're trying to succeed, there's no reason that you should be wasting your time on distractions. You're trying to create your dream life. And if you're not able to eliminate distractions because you're afraid of losing something, or you're afraid of getting tied down and zoning in and actually achieving your goals and succeeding, then this isn't the place for you. Because you have to be honest with yourself. In order to succeed, you're going to have to put in the work. So those are 3 tips that you can incorporate into your lifestyle now in order to help you with your procrastination and overcome it. So thank you for watching this video. I know it was a pretty quick one, but I just wanted to share a couple of tips that I use to help overcome my procrastination. And I hope that you can incorporate these things into your life. If you have any questions for me, please leave it down below, because I love making videos for you guys, and I love helping you, and I love sharing knowledge. So whatever questions you have, just leave it down below. So I will be back next week with another video, and thanks for tuning in, guys. Cheers!